Each year, Jesus' family journeyed to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover, a time of great joy for all. This year, Jesus accompanied them, filled with even more joy as he was heading to his Father's house to fulfill God's law. They planned to stay in Jerusalem for 7 days, making it a time of heartfelt celebration. In ancient Egypt, the blood of a lamb had signified salvation for the Israelites, a symbol they now honored each year through a lamb's sacrifice. This was a reminder that they, like the Egyptians, needed redemption. Yet this lamb was not the true Redeemer. There was a greater lamb yet to come, a man willing to die for the people. That man was Jesus, destined to offer himself as a sacrifice. But how would this unfold? Jesus found immense joy in this Passover, grateful to be in his Father's house. But he was saddened that no one seemed to seek him. Why weren't the scribes and Pharisees, who knew the prophecies, looking for him? Didn't anyone recognize him? It was baffling to Jesus. When the 7 days ended, and Joseph and Mary departed with their companions, Jesus remained in Jerusalem. Here he could sit peacefully among the scribes, asking questions about the prophecies and the arrival of the true Lamb. Yet he was disheartened by their lack of understanding. Though they knew the scriptures, they missed God's love and mercy. They were unaware of their sins and their need for a Savior. Jesus longed to reveal these truths to them, but they only marveled at his wisdom without recognizing who he truly was. His heart ached, for even in the temple, he felt the weight of misunderstanding and rejection. Meanwhile, Joseph and Mary, trusting in Jesus' sense of responsibility, continued their journey home. But when evening came, Mary grew concerned, realizing she hadn't seen him all day. After a restless night, they returned to Jerusalem at first light, searching anxiously. Yet no one had seen him. Mary's heart was filled with fear. Could something have happened to him? On the 3rd day of their search, Mary and Joseph went to the temple, where they finally found Jesus, calmly sitting among the teachers, listening and asking questions. Mary, overwhelmed, cried out,
"Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been searching anxiously for you."
Jesus looked at her, surprised and sorrowful.
"Why were you searching for me? Didn't you know I must be about my Father's business?"
Mary and Joseph didn't fully understand his words. Who was his father? They knew it wasn't Joseph. Mary recalled all she'd seen, remembering that God alone was his true father. They returned to Nazareth, and Jesus resumed his obedience as he had always done. But now he knew that his obedience was for everyone who had failed to obey. His life would fulfill God's law on behalf of all people. His obedience counted as theirs. It was no easy task to be humble and obey, even though he was wiser than his parents. He knew right from wrong, even when they did not. But he remained silent, suffered patiently, and obeyed. Through his obedience, God offers forgiveness for our disobedience. How could we ever thank him enough for such a gift?